Welcome to another episode of the Investor Deli podcast, when we make the investor the star. And today, the star of the show is Juan. I made it to 50. Feel so excited to be here with you guys. I just want to get into it. And now that I'm turning 50, the podcast turns the 50th episode. So I just want to commemorate the 50 episodes that I did, and I gonna go over my story, my journey, and how I just jumped into the pool and said let's go, and just got out of my own way and conquered my own fears and just started the podcast. And it's changed, it's been transformative, and I'm just very excited to be with you guys and tell you a little bit about my journey and how you can get started as well and get out your own way if you're feeling kind of antsy and don't know where to start, and you just have paralysis. Just get out your way and just press play and let's get to it. So let me just change out my outfit and then put my hat, Mr. Rogers style. I hope you guys like my jacket. This is a OC jacket. I'll just turn around a little bit so you can see it. Proud of my jacket, and I'll get into the story of the jacket as well. But I just like to go back to the beginning. The beginning started in Scottsdale, Arizona. I went to a retreat. I'm part of Pace Morby's Owners Club community, country club, the Vibe Tribe. And prior to that, I went to Squat Up in Orlando. So that was the impetus of me re-energizing my real estate journey. I've been investing for 25 years, but I was a little bit out the game. I wasn't actively purchasing properties, and I was a little ignorant to some of the not trading, but some of the buying strategies, which then I got educated by being in Pace's community. And when we were in Arizona last year, I decided to start a podcast. And I made the decision. Not only did I make the decision, I pressed play. So what I did, we recorded some episodes while we were there. So that gave me some energy to get started. And I did it with a couple of friends, which was awesome, right? So you kind of lean on others, right? When you feel a little nervous and scared. And we started doing it. So when I got home, what I did, I went down a little rabbit hole and looking for cameras and equipment and, microphones, all this stuff, right, that you think you need to start when you really don't. But what I did, I started going and watching some YouTube videos. Shout out to YouTube, you know what it is. And I started going the rabbit hole on equipment and how to set up stuff and whatnot. So I saved all these little things. And when Amazon Prime came, I purchased them all. So a little pro tip for you as well. Save your stuff and then purchase it, save yourself a couple dollars. And then the stuff came and I just connected it and voila, made it happen. I bought a microphone, not too expensive, external camera that connects to my computer. And then I got on StreamYard. I had an affiliate link on my link tree for people who want to start their YouTube podcast. I have affiliate link and you can use that as well. And I got off to the races. I brought a little light, whatever it takes to kind of get started. But like I said, I already had the confidence to do it. And I just started recording. And what I did, I started recording with some of my besties, right, that I met in the real estate community, just to get those nerves out the way. And things are going to go wrong. The microphone's not going to work, the volume, the camera, the sucker don't turn on. You're like, what's going on? So you'd be able to lean on your buds to be able to figure these things out. And these things did happen, right? All of these things happened. I started recording, the microphone, you don't hear each other and whatnot. So I went with my gut. I call it my God. And I was able to kind of get off to the races. And once I got about 4 or 5 episodes in with all my buds, I started getting comfortable in the space. And it's like exercise. Once you do it for a while, your body craves for it. And I had that craving to continue. And it was, like I said, transformative. And I'm just here kind of to share the experience, how it's been for me, right? I even started a merch brand. So what I started was, when I started, the podcast was called the Real Estate Deli. Now it's the Investor Deli. These are things that you grow in and out of as well, right? So what I did for my initial guest, I used to just give them I call myself the thoughtful creative. So what I did, I started printing out merch and stuff. So this is what my initial gift was to the people who come on my podcast. It was people in Owners Club. So it was a members only, Owners Club members only tee that I would send them. Again, just thank you for participating. And, building a relationship, compounding a relationship with kind of this what does. And like I said, I was excited to do that. And I didn't know what to do and start a merch store and whatnot. I had no clue. Again, just getting started and taking action, imperfect action. And that tied into the podcast. So it just started, like I said, a parting gift, let's say, to people who showed up. And then I just thought of the idea, why not make it something bigger than that? Why not create a store? So I did, and I'll talk about that as well. Yeah, and I just had super interesting conversations with people in different sectors of the industry: RV parks, co-living, multifamily, assisted living, senior living, boutique hotels, ground up construction. So many people doing so many interesting things that it gives you a sense of FOMO, like not even FOMO, shiny object syndrome. You're like, yo, I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And your best friend is no, right? Stick to what you know, put your blinders on, and stay focused on what you're doing, and continue your journey, right? Don't do other people's journey, because sometimes we want to do everything and we end up doing nothing, right? So, and I know that as well. So be mindful of this and stick to your guns. So yeah, the experience has been incredible. I've met, like I said, this is my 50th episode, so I just want to dedicate some time to share my experience. For those who want to get started, it's just press play, make the decision in your head, and just press play. Even record yourself. Start getting comfortable. Pick a little section in your house and just start pressing play, honestly, and start recording yourself and just exercising that muscle. And keep it simple, as well. And kind of have maybe an outline for your guests where you kind of drive how the podcast is going. And that's kind of what I do. I make it into a 3-part series, and I introduce that to the guests prior. I have a quick conversation. We get to know each other if you don't know each other. And you gave the premise so then I have some type of preparation and they see what they're coming into. And it's no big deal. And then it's record. You don't have to be there for 2 hours like Joe Rogan style. My sweet spot is usually 30 to 45 minutes, which is cool for me, and it fits into my criteria. And I enjoy it. And again, it's compounding that relationship. It's like having a cup of coffee. This is, for me, is a cup of coffee, and you get to know people that are interesting to you, right? And you can start building those connections. You never know how you can work with each other, or you can actually help that person connect with someone else, right? Just giving value. So that's important as well. You just don't want to be a taker. You want to be a giver, have go-giver mentality. So yeah, the journey has been super incredible for me. And I'm here, wearing my Owners Club hat. So this is my Owners Club jacket. So circle back, I started my podcast in Scottsdale in June of last year, July of last year. Now we're in October of this year. The OC October kind of matches. And I just came back from Scottsdale, and this kind of was our founders jacket retreat, right? For being founding members of Owners Club 2024. Shout out to my OGOCs. Love you guys. And this was something that we've been looking forward to, so we received our jackets. We had a great ceremony, took some great pictures. I'll post that as well, so you can take a look at it, that bonding experience that we all share being founders of Owners Club. So yeah, let me start taking this jacket off because it's getting kind of hot, So yeah, this was a great experience where you can look back at your journey and see how far you've come from what you've been doing. So let me just put this jacket on the seat and catch up with old buddies and follow their journey, right? And this is kind of my merch as well, which is Cash Flow King. If you see the crown, you know what it is. And you can get that at my shop, which I'll talk about a little about. So yeah, I just had a great return from our retreat, which is always awesome. You get to meet so many people, you align with so many people. Then then you look for your tribe, the people who you want to connect with, who are doing the similar things that you're doing. So that's also very important. And you just come back re-energized, ready to tackle your next goals, right? Your next missions, and realign and stay super focused and get to work and manifest your destiny. So shout out to all the Owners Club, OGs, the new ones as well. Shout out to all of you. It's been an incredible journey. And again, it's a wonderful thing when you can meet a community of investors, of people, of go-givers, where you can tackle a lot of problems in the real estate industry and sector. Affordability is a big concern for people, and a lot of people doing great things and assisting those who are in need. Senior living is growing as well. Population is getting older. There's so many people doing so many incredible things. So I'm glad to be aligned with so many in the community. So yeah, and yeah, it's been an awesome experience. I got to get back. I've met some great people. I met a lot of people that align with what I'm doing, which is dope. And again, and you meet people that are doing things that are totally different. But again, you can connect, right? You can be a person that connects to someone else who's doing the same, and those are wins as well. So I feel great about that. So yeah, I'm gonna switch my hat and I'm gonna get into what my podcast is now. It's called the Investor Deli after the change from the real estate deli is the Investor Deli, and this is my store, investordeli.store, and this is where you can find my merch, right? And it's on Shopify. And I have some great sweaters and tees. Later on, I'll evolve into mugs and cups and tote bags as well. But for right now, it's just sweaters and tees. I keep it very traditional in the colors. And I'll put the link below so you can go and support as well. I would love that to see you guys out there wearing the merch when we go to our meetups. That'd be super dope. So yeah, and this is a journey. Like I said, I started and then I just said, I pivoted. I wanted to change the name. I'm the type of guy like that. I'd be like, let's do something else. And I kind of, settled in what I wanted to be. Again, it's just taking the action, and you learn these things by being in the space. Like whatever is you doing, you won't learn until you're in it to be able to pivot, adjust, and analyze and say, oh wow, this is for me, this is not for me, I'll do it this way from now on, right? All these little things that don't make sense to you will start making sense, but you have to be living in the space. There's no other way to do it. Like I said, and just press record, right? You worried about, oh, how I'm going to look, my hair, all this BS, whatever, right? Don't pay no mind to it. I start recording. That's what I did. And eventually I got an editor, right? Had a couple of dollars. I said, wow, I'd like to have someone clean up my little messes as well. My ums, my ands, all that stuff that we kind of speak. So that was awesome. And I finally met somebody that aligned with me, and we were able to figure out stuff, how we work together, and kind of figure out my style. I'm very kind of minimalistic and simplistic in my editing. So it's very clean and polished. If I talk about certain things, you might see a pop-up, a QR code and stuff like that with an affiliate link. So again, and you mimic people that you admire, right? There's people that doing YouTube videos, whatever content, and you see an idea, you be like, oh man, I'm gonna take that and make it my own and put your spin on it. And I've done that a lot as well. So when you're in this, going back to being in the space, you get to figure it out. So that's kind of what I've done. And like I said, I have an editor. So that's been super helpful as well. Be able to kind of clean up my pod somewhat. And that's the evolution of the pod, right? Where you kind of see the direction you want to go and the vision that you want to see it. And, now you have, I think there's Netflix announced that there's going to be a podcast on Netflix. Who would have thought? That's like a show now. So it's like producing a show, like other, there's no more I Love Lucy. There's, Investor Deli, right? So the evolution is incredible. It's just the space that we're in, and you have to be a part of it. Like Pace says all the time, social media's responsibilities, your duties, your business card, right? This is the new business card, and this is how you get to connect to people out there to watch your content and follow up, and people connect with you. I've had plenty of people be like, yo, dude, I love your podcast. Like I've been watching, and you would never know, right? So I've had that experience many a times. I go to a lot of these community meetups. Hey, I want to be on your pod. Can you hit me up? Put me on, right? So again, closed mouth don't get fed. So get out there and start your podcast for real. Stop playing, And if it's not for you, hey, it's not for you. You go find whatever you enjoy doing, and as well. But for me, I say, what the hey? What's the big deal? I don't take myself too serious, right? So I'm able to do these kind of things. I don't be in my head and be, I ain't that type of guy. I take the adage is like going into a pool. Some people cannonball, and some people walk in the pool in the water, and they're like, oh my God, I'm freezing. Oh, my belly's cold. My back. Oh my God, don't sprinkle me, all that. By the time you're doing that, figured out I've jumped in and out cannonball 3-4 times, right? So it's just about taking that massive action and literally figuring out your own riddle, which I do kind of try to figure out my own riddle all the time. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of just harken back and the experience, what has been to to do my 50th podcast, which I'm so proud of myself to be able to cross that threshold to say, man, you stuck to it. You made the mistakes. You figured out there's more mistakes to come, and the journey continues. It's like, it's like real estate. People give the real estate the title. I call it problem solving, right? One problem solved, next one is around the corner, right? It's kind of what we do. So I just take the same approach and, conquer each day and each episode and make new lasting connections. And, it's an incredible opportunity for you to be able to grow and expand your brand, which is important nowadays. Branding it's super critical, and people can see you that you're active on your social medias, and that's how people do like background checks, soft background checks, is to see is it, are you doing what you say you're doing, right? So I like to document a lot of my stuff that I'm doing. I like to manifest. I like to empower people. I like to show the work that I'm doing. So that's important to do that, because nowadays these younger generations, as we get younger, they're going to go to this phone. They're going to be like, huh, who are you? And they're going to search you, and they're going to be, all right. So those are stepping stones to edify you, to see who you are, and you say what you're doing, right? So that's super important to be able to be in that space, right? For me, it's invaluable. I've met so many people through Instagram, through social media, like heavy hitters that I DM me back because they see me in a space, and I'm able to leverage our leaders in our community, Pace Morby and Jamil Damji, right? These leaders that I get to be around and get on my podcast. They haven't been on my pod, but they soon will be as well. So shout out to you guys. I look forward for you guys to be on my podcast. And yeah, it's been an incredible time. I'm so excited to continue to the road to 100, and let's see what steps I take to get there, and who are new people that I meet on the road. And again, start your podcast. Don't be a fool. Make it happen. Do your thing. And you're going to be super proud that you started. So now it's your turn.